Uh, I was told my father was killed in the war. Whenever I questioned my mother about his death, she didn't say any more than that he would serve with the Royal Gloucestershire Regiment and had been killed fighting on the Western Front only days before the armistice was signed. Grandma said my dad had been a brave man, and once we were alone in the house, she showed me his medal. My grandpa rarely offered an opinion on anything, but then he was deaf as a post, so he might not have heard the question in the first place. The only other man I can remember was my uncle Stan, who used to sit at the top of the table at breakfast time. When he left of a morning, I would often follow him to the city dock where he worked. Every day I spent at the dockyard was an adventure. Cargo ships coming from distant lands and unloading their wares, rice, sugar, bananas, juice, and many other things I've never heard of. Once, once the hold had been emptied, the doctors would load them with salt, apples, tin, even coal. My favorite because it was an obvious clue to what I would be doing all day and annoyed my mother. Before they set off again, too, I knew not where. I always wanted to help my uncle Stan unload whatever ship had docked that morning. But he just laughed, saying, all in good time, my lad.
Good.
Finish, ma'am.
Okay.
Hmm.
One word, please repeat
Hmm.
the pronunciation. Fighting on which regiment?
Fighting, fighting on Western Front
No, before that, regiment.
before the regiment.
Hmm. Which regiment?
Gloucester, Gloucestershire,
Gloucestershire.
Gloucestershire,
Shire. Gloucestershire.
Royal Gloucestershire Regiment,
Yeah,
and had been still fighting on the Western Front.
yeah. Good. Afternoon, Vidya.
Good afternoon.
So, how was your day?
It was good. Today I spent time with my friends after so many months.
Okay. Hello.
Huh?
Yeah. So, where? What did you do?
We went for lunch
Okay.
at Westin.
At where?
Westin.
Western. Okay. So, how was the lunch?
Yeah, it was good.
So, I had Indian or Western. What type of lunch you had?
Indian.
Indian. Okay.
We had some salads and sandwiches,
Okay.
then coffee.
Okay. Good. So, you enjoyed with your friends?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
What else you did today in the morning?
In the morning, I did my exercise, then breakfast,
Okay.
and then I did my homework
Okay.
for English. And first I finished that, and then I went around 1 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
1:30, around 1:30.
Okay. So, uh, I hope it's safe to go out for lunch.
Uh, Yesterday I was slightly reluctant to go,
Mm-hmm.
but the they insist. कुछ नहीं होता चलो. So I thought
Okay.
we will take precaution, and I think Westin also they have arranged nicely.
Yeah, it's a very
They
good restaurant, and they must have taken good care.
yeah, and they accommodate only few people,
Okay.
crowded.
Hmm. Okay. So it was not very crowded.
Yes.
Good. So, shall we finish your homework first, your
Yes.
video thing? Huh? Okay.
Yes.
So you say that, and after that we'll start our new session.
Mm, Um, I tell you, hello.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Babar Ali
Hmm.
was just when he started school. He was a 5th grade student. At the age of 9, he started running a school
Mhm.
for stray children, uh, children of who worked in fields.
Mhm. Yeah.
He started teaching them in the backyard of his house.
Mhm.
They asked people to send their children to school.
Mhm.
But that time he faced lot of criticism and oppose
Mhm.
by the parent, asking how can education help them to come out from their situation when they are not getting 2 times of need.
Mhm. Okay.
Uh, After this also he continued his working towards teaching
Mhm.
without the help of West Bengal government and Indian government.
Mhm.
The people of West Bengal and Indian people helped him to run the school.
Okay.
Now he has a good amount of students,
Mhm.
and they go for higher study,
Okay.
and his dream is the education for all.
Okay. That's really great, and you spoke very well. Good. So we move ahead.
Yes.
So today's debate topic is politics. Are all politicians corrupt? Is there hope for better politics in India?
Hmm.
So, what do you say? Do you think all politicians are corrupt?
No, not all politicians are corrupt, but
Yeah,
uh, more than 50%
yeah.
politicians are corrupt.
Okay. And how do you say that? That more than 50%? Is there any reason behind it?
Uh, because when we in parliament, so many politicians who
Yeah.
are sitting there are accused
Hmm.
in many cases, many scams,
Yeah,
and no
yeah, yeah. They are
uh,
involved in many type of scams
many
and
types of cases, and
many,
no
yeah,
legal
yeah. They are
no
many
legal
of them are, yeah.
government.
We keep reading in newspaper, keep listening on TV, keep watching on TV that this is what has happened there, this scam, that scam.
Yes,
So a lot of things are happening. So we have really no faith in our politicians. Even if
yes.
politician is not corrupt, there will
Then
be,
also we think
uh,
he may be
he may be corrupt, guys.
harmed. question, maybe he is also like others.
Right. So it's very difficult to believe in any of our politicians.
Yeah,
So is there hope for better politics in India? Do you think so?
yeah, it's possible.
Although it's deep rooted,
Deep
corruption is
rooted,
really
but
deep rooted.
we need a strong leader
Yes.
to implement rules and regulation in every field, in every government
Yeah.
government
Everywhere.
offices,
Yes.
even in judiciary.
Yeah. We have to strictly follow the rules and implement rules. First, we have to follow, like politicians have to follow the rules strictly first, then they can ask for implementation.
Yes,
Problem is that they don't follow the rules.
correct.
So,
Even their interference is so much in every field, like in with police officers, in judiciary, everywhere
everywhere,
they everywhere they command. They
everywhere.
put their decisions to them to do things according to their.
And they pressurize government officers for changing their correct and honest view about anybody because they take money from them and then pressurize the government officials.
Mm.
So it's very bad situation, but yes, hope is always there. So we can always hope for better politics in India. Let's pray and hope.
Yes. Maybe new in future new generation come up
Yeah,
because they are now the politicians who are coming, they are more educated. Earlier they were not that much study and all.
yeah.
Now hopefully young generation will come up with their new ideas with
Yeah.
highly educated
Better politics and no
people.
corruption
Yes.
or least corruption. At least we can hope for that. So, will you narrate a story or I will say something else?
Uh, I have select one the topic importance of sports in school.
Hmm. Okay, say them.
Uh, like we in every school we have one period for personal training for students,
Hmm.
uh, but that is for only limited period,
Hmm.
and students are not involved in any sport, or we are not giving that much importance to sports. But I think we should have sports in every school for each and every student,
Hmm.
because sports develop the physical strength as well as mental strength in
Hmm.
students.
Right.
Daily physical activity in any form like yoga, aerobics, zumba,
Hmm.
or running, etc.
Hmm.
Uh, it will not help students to stay healthy,
Hmm.
but it will also help to improve their emotion fitness.
Hmm.
If we are living very sedentary lifestyle,
Hmm.
and we are more into eating junk food, outside food,
Right.
not at all healthy.
Yes.
And one of main reason is food adulteration also.
Hmm.
Because of all these things, the obesity rate is increasing fast in
Hmm.
all age groups, especially in children.
Hmm.
Uh, somewhere we need to balance this with the physical activity.
Hmm.
Earlier, children used to go outside for play after school hours. But now children are busy with their school long hours of school,
Children are,
and
excuse me.
children
children, not
are
children, children are, yeah.
uh, busy with their long hours of school, and parents also enroll them to so many other activities
Yeah.
and classes.
Mhm.
Children are avoiding to go out. Instead of that, they start loving to play indoor games like video games in iPad, TV,
Yeah,
etc.
right.
So we need to inculcate the physical
Inculcate.
physical exercise from their childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It is very important that sports should be uh, major it's major part of school curriculum.
Right. Very good.
It will stay them emotionally and physically fit. They can focus on their study,
Mm-hmm.
and it will help them to when they participate in school sports. This they develop leadership quality, positive mentoring.
Yeah.
They can develop their social life.
Mm.
They can develop discipline. They can increase their confidence. So all this quality uh, sports have. So we need to introduce sports in schools.
Very good. Very well said. Okay. So now we can proceed ahead with idioms and phrases.
Hmm.
So first is easier said than done. So it this phrase is such which has its literal meaning. Easier said than done. Like it's very easy to say something, but very hard to do. Suppose I ask you to study 16 to 18 hours a day for your board exams. But if I have to do it, I will feel it very tough, very hard.
Correct.
So this is easier said than done. So here some explanation is there in the book.
Yeah.
Some sentences are there.
Hmm.
It's a lot tougher than that. It's one of those things that are easier said than done. Okay, will you read this?
This 30th session, ma'am.
Yeah, 30th session.
Okay.
Are you not on 30th session?
Uh,
Okay.
just yeah, easier said than done.
Yeah,
This, hmm.
right. So you can. I have already given the explanation. If you want, you can read the explanation which is here
The
in the book.
phrase is which is often people tell you to do something that sounds easy. Okay, but it is actually hard. So in response, you can say this phrase.
Right.
Okay, it is harder than you think.
It is harder than you think.
Hmm.
No, not exactly. It's harder than you think.
Hmm.
You say easily to anyone. Okay, but actually, it is. If you do it, it is very hard.
Okay. Ah,
Means
understood.
I will say you yes, you do it,
Hmm.
or I will
Okay.
say yeah, I will do it. It's very easy, but when I start doing it, I will find it very hard. So
Huh.
it's easier said than done. Now, other sentences
Not.
in this, it's harder than you think. It's
It's
not
not
as easy as you think. If you think it's easy, why don't you
one
do it?
it.
I think it's when we say to somebody else to do something,
Hmm.
then it's more apt this idiom. It's easier said than done. Like if I have to do, I will feel then oh it's very hard. But I will ask anyone to do it quickly. Or I'll say why. It's very easy, do it. Actually, it's hard for me to do. Am I able to explain it?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, second is it's
Second.
about time. So, it's often said in an odd way that something should have happened sooner. Sometimes you get really annoyed that, oh, this
Mhm.
thing has not happened on time. So, it's about time. Like, people are sentence like say they are getting married, it's
Mhm.
about time. They are getting married, it's about time. Means they waited a long for
Long
marriage,
time.
now they are getting married, so it's about time. Hmm? Here some examples are there. It's about time I waited 2 hours for you. It's about time I got a chance to play.
Want to say. Yes.
Hmm? Easy.
Yes. Understand.
Now, jump to conclusions.
Mhm.
Without knowing all the facts, if you jump on conclusion, it's
Mhm.
said jump to conclusions. This is also very almost literal meaning. Like I can say, don't jump to conclusion until
You
you
have.
know all the facts.
Okay.
Okay?
Or without thinking.
Yeah. Without knowing all the facts.
Mhm.
Like suppose, for example, my friend has not come on time, and I start thinking, oh, something has happened to him. What happened? Maybe accident. Oh, he has met with an accident. So this is jump to conclusions without knowing facts why he is late. Are you able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. So making a conclusion without having all the details or all the facts. Uh, I incorrectly blamed Jyoti for breaking my phone.
Oh.
I should have I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. I thought you took my book. I shouldn't have accused you. I jumped to conclusions. Will you stop jumping to conclusions? You should get all the facts before you make any decision.
Mhm.
Is that clear?
Yes. Exactly.
I beg to differ.
Right.
This also has literal meaning. This idiom also has literal meaning.
Mhm.
So, this is a polite way of disagreeing. If I don't agree on any point with you, I can say I beg to differ. I think it should have been like this,
No.
right? So you can read it now.
Hmm. I beg to differ. I don't think that is the right way to handle the situation.
Right.
I beg to differ. You did a really nice and deserve the promotion.
Yeah.
I beg to differ. What he did was inexcusable.
Inexcusable. Yeah. Inexcusable.
Other common sentences: I disagree with you, or politely disagree.
Yeah. It means I beg to differ. I disagree with you, or I politely disagree. So instead of this, we can use the idiom I beg to differ. Right?
Beg to differ.
So we can do this exercise.
Hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Tina, did you hear that Paul got fired? Yes, I am shocked I did not expect it to happen this soon. He was very, very good. Uh,
Meena
it's
was
about
shocked that, huh? Pardon me?
uh, it's about time he was no, no,
No.
no. Easier.
He says, Meena says, yes, I am shocked. I did not expect it to happen this soon. Means Meena's views were different than Tina's views,
Uh,
right? So, because Tina says he was very lazy, he deserved it. Whereas Meena says, yes, I am shocked, right? So, Tina begged to differ. Begged to differ, he was very lazy, he deserved it. Hmm?
uh,
Her opinion is different than of
different
Meena's.
from them. Nina. Okay.
Uh, Next one.
The government is slowly allowing the people to go back to work. Ram, yes, I heard the economy was starting to take a hit. Yes, I heard it's about time
Right,
the economy was starting to take a hit.
right.
Raj, I disagree. I don't think money is more important than health right now.
Here, when Raj is
Or,
saying I disagree, here
uh,
you one of this idiom can also be said. Here, I disagree, or he can say I beg to differ,
okay.
because
Yeah.
in sentences certain I disagree is correct. But if you are writing this kind of sentence, you can use here I beg to differ.
Differ.
Right? I beg to differ. I don't think money is more important than health.
Mm.
Because here also he is not agreeing to his friend Ram.
Mm.
Now, third one.
Uh, Jay, do you think I should go on a diet? You see, oh, I don't know. It's easier said than done.
Right. Correct.
Jay, I know I love food. It will be very hard.
Yeah.
Go for it. You can do it.
Good.
Sam, where is my phone? I cannot find it anywhere. Did you check your bag and pocket? I did. I cannot find it. I think someone stole it. Don't jump to conclusion. I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
Yeah. Correct.
Correct?
Correct. So well done. Uh, so we
Finish?
yeah finished.
Only one exercise.